Who's got tight hips? Right? Who doesn't have tight hips? All right, today I'm gonna show you some basic hip stretches. They're all hip flexor stretches, and we'll get started. So, first one is please always get padding for your knee. All right, hip flexor stretch. You're gonna have one knee down, one knee up, okay? Let's just do it left side. So, quick note here, if this knee is like right under your center and this one are on the same line, you're gonna feel super off balance. So this leg can be here, it can even be out here if you really need it to be. And this one should not be in your center, it should be directly under your hip. Good. Now, you'll notice this happens in most of us, and you can feel the stretch without doing this little trick I'm about to show you, but you'll have a much better time correcting your posture and, just progressing towards always having a healthier body if you make these little tweaks. Here's the little tweak. This right hip is up, and now you need to bring it down. So I have my hands on the top of my hip bones. It started like this from bringing it up, and now it's stuck like that. So I need to push and even it out. Good, so that's the little trick. Besides that, you're gonna have one knee down, one knee up, and you're gonna rotate and tuck here. So yes, this is the same motion as humping, essentially. And honestly, what we need is more rotating and less forward, okay? So this one where you rotate and it's basically like you're trying to get your pubic bone up to your chin is what we're looking for. Squeeze your glute, especially if you have deactivated glutes, squeeze it, and then you should start to feel that stretch right along here. So, if you have that uneven hip situation, when this hip is up and you're tucked, you'll feel more of the stretch, and that's okay. However, if you're someone who's seeing me for specifically like posture stuff, then we may need you to keep them even, tuck and squeeze, and just accept that the stretch is just slightly less intense. Quick note on stretching, just because it's not like, I want to escape, doesn't mean that you're not doing it. If you're feeling a stretch, you're doing it right. So always hold your stretches for 30 seconds. For time and boredom, right now on YouTube, I'm not going to do both sides and I'm not going to hold for 30 seconds, but be sure no matter what, you're always getting both sides. And again, this is a hip rotation and a squeeze and not a lean forward. All right, next up is the runner's lunge. So you're gonna have your foot up here, your hands right down by your foot, tuck your back toes and straighten this leg. Good, I want to see that heel directly above the toes, so not that and not that. I want to see it right there. And we're stretching this hip. So in order to do that, if your leg is bent, you're not going to feel it as much. And if your leg is having trouble straightening, which we want it to be straight, then that means you got some really tight quads. So try your best to keep this leg straight. If you feel it stretchier, great. If not, that's when you can start to sink the hips down, but not if the knee is bending, okay? Keep it nice and straight. You want to feel that stretch right there. And again, please hold it for 30 whole seconds, at least, each side. All right, so those are my 2 top hip flexor stretches. I hope that you feel a little bit stretched out. Feel good, and let me know if you have any questions and I'll get back to you. Thanks, guys.